It's time again for Health Monitor, the number one program that's shows you how to live a life in its healthiest way. To improve the quality of health of life and inspire you and give you the hope that you can live a healthy life every day. It's Health Monitor, yeah. Your guide to good health. It's Health Monitor, the number one health show, yeah.
You're welcome to Health Monitor, your guide to good health. My name is GB Odloge and welcome very specially to the program. All right, today we want to start as usual with assisted conception brought to you by True Care Fertility Clinics. Then we move over to body care and our health tips. So please stay with us. The program will continue shortly.
It's Health Monitor, the number one health show.
Welcome back to the show. So now we want to give it up for Dr. Ivy from True Care Fertility Clinics, who will be giving you information to assist you to conceive in case you cannot conceive naturally. Dr. Ivy, over to you, please.
Hello, good day, viewers. You are welcome to the assisted conception part of the show. I am Dr. Omori Ivy. So today I'm going to be talking about infertility. What is infertility? What are the causes and how do you go about it for those who suffer from infertility? So what is infertility? Infertility is the inability to achieve conception in a heterosexual couple despite adequate sexual intercourse of at least 3 to 5 times in a week and of 1 year duration. So if you're heterosexual and you've not been able to achieve pregnancy in 1 year duration despite adequate sexual intercourse of at least 3 times a week, then there is a problem, meaning there's infertility. So having talked about the tubes, the fallopian tubes, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the ovary. Ovary of a woman is where the eggs are stored. Once a woman is born, we have a fixed number of eggs in our ovary, and of course as we grow older we release these eggs, we ovulate, and number diminishes. That's why we have menopause. So anything that will make a woman not to ovulate or anything that will affect the ovary will result in infertility in a woman. So causes of anovulation or ovarian problems, we have polycystic ovarian syndrome. Women who have polycystic ovarian syndrome usually have irregular menses. They have anovulation, meaning they will not ovulate, and this will also result in subfertility or infertility. They may have delay in conception. Remember, we said after adequate sexual intercourse of at least 3 times a week and 1 year duration, and a woman is not pregnant, a couple don't get pregnant, of course, you term it infertility. So women with polycystic ovarian syndrome, they do not ovulate frequently. And of course, if they don't ovulate frequently, pregnancy is also delayed or difficult. And these women will tend to have infertility or subfertility. Another thing that can affect the ovary, you have endometriosis. I mentioned endometriosis when I was talking about the fallopian tube. The same mechanism where you have the womb lining, which is the endometrium, is called endometrium. It lines the womb and the woman sheds it every month as menstruation goes to the ovary, and you have that tissue in the ovary, meaning that as she's menstruating from the womb, which comes out through the vagina, she's also menstruating in the ovary. However, the one in the ovary does not have any exit point, so it accumulates there, and of course it becomes fibrosed. And the most important thing is that it destroys the eggs that are stored in the ovary. So women with endometriosis may find it difficult to achieve natural conception. Then another factor that can affect the ovary is premature ovarian failure. In case of premature ovarian failure, a woman who is less than 40 years of age will suddenly go into menopause. When you check her hormones, they are like that of a menopausal woman. This is what we call premature ovarian failure. Just like any organ in the body can fail, you have the ovaries failing. But in cases where the ovary fail, what happens is that the woman is not able to ovulate, and she's not able to, she doesn't have eggs anymore, and of course she has gone into menopause. This makes it difficult for her to achieve pregnancy. So she may have present with infertility, and it can happen in a woman as young as 25. So if suddenly you stop seeing your menses, which you were seeing before, and you start having menopausal symptoms, it's time to visit your doctor to know what is going on in your body. And that cause of ovarian problem is age. Just because of the way we are built, in a woman, the eggs she has is put in her from birth. Once we are born, we cannot make a single egg in our lifetime. So the egg we have, they are fixed in numbers. So as we get older, our eggs reduce in quality and in quantity. So there's a decline, which is normal with every woman, age-related decline. Once you get to 35 years of age, there's a sharp decline in the number of eggs and the quality of eggs we have. So that's why a woman who is older may find it difficult to achieve pregnancy compared to a younger woman. This also results in infertility. Then, of course, we have issues of excessive weight loss, rigorous exercise. This will result in infertility in the woman. This usually affects the higher centers. The brain controls the process of ovulation. So, excessive weight loss, rigorous exercise will affect what we call the hypothalamus, which will affect the hormone production and will affect ovulation in essence. So all these will affect ovulation. And once a woman is not ovulating, we need the egg to be fertilized by the spermatozoa. If there's no egg, there will be no pregnancy. Lastly, menopause, which is related to age. Menopause ideally should be the end of a woman's fertility, but thank God for assisted reproduction. Even if you're menopausal, you can still have your own children. Then thirdly, I said I'm going to talk about the three major components, which is the uterus, the fallopian tube, and the ovaries. I've talked about the ovary, I've talked about the fallopian tube. The last one is the uterus. So anything that will affect the uterus, of course, will affect the ability for a baby to attach to it and, of course, to grow. Things like uterine polyps, fibroid, may affect the uterus. So if a woman has fibroid, depending on the size of that fibroid and the location, fibroid can affect a woman's reproduction in two ways. It can prevent you from getting pregnant, or it can result in recurrent miscarriages. So depending on the site and the location of the fibroid, it can act in two ways. So a woman who has this problem may have difficulty in achieving conception. So all these factors, they may look so bizarre and difficult. But however, when it comes to assisted reproduction, every challenge I have mentioned can be overcome. With assisted reproduction, ovarian problem is not an issue. Tubal problem, in fact, is a long forgotten issue. Once it comes to tubal problems, in assisted reproduction, we boycott the function of the fallopian tube. So we go straight to the ovaries, get the eggs out, fertilize spermatozoa in the laboratory, and return this embryo to the womb. That overrides the function of the fallopian tubes. So in IVF, you do not need the fallopian tube. So no matter how complex or how difficult a problem of infertility may look, you can have solution via assisted reproduction. So if you have any of these challenges, it's time for you to call us. You can reach us in our clinic, and we can assist you with any problem you have. It can be solved. Trust me on that. It can be solved using one of the many assisted reproductive techniques we have. And remember, we are also in difficult times. We are in difficult times now. Remember to also keep safe. Of course, obey the authorities, wash your hands frequently, and prevent the coronavirus. We have measures in the clinic as well to prevent coronavirus. We have hand sanitizer available at every point in the clinic. When you come, don't be afraid of anything. And of course, we put in place all our officials, our healthcare workers, and the clients to wear their face mask. Obey authorities. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ivy, for giving us that information that can assist somebody out there to conceive in case the person cannot conceive naturally. And I want to appreciate True Care Fertility Clinics for bringing us this segment. The program will return shortly with Body Care.
It's Health Monitor, the #1 health show. It's Health Monitor, the #1 health show.
You're welcome back to the show, Health Monitor, your guide to good health, and this is the body care part of the show. On body care today, Dr. Joe will be taking a look at zinc. Does zinc prevent viral infection from taking hold? So over to you, Dr. Joe.
Does zinc provide immune support for our body? Well, the answer appears to be yes, and this is based on research evidence, and we're going to be looking at the research evidence shortly. It's a little bit geeky in parts, but I'm going to try and simplify it. So, research tells us that zinc can prevent viral infections from taking hold, and that if we supplement with zinc, this will result in reduced incidence of infection. And also, if we supplement with zinc, we reduce the generation of inflammatory markers in our body. So, how does zinc prevent viral infections from taking hold? So, we're going to be looking at this no expense spared graphics that I've prepared for you here. So, you need two things to be in place for an infection to take place. So, of course, you've got to have the virus with the RNA, which is its genome inside the virus there. And then you've got to have the human cell, and that's the nucleus of the human cell. Of course, the nucleus contains our genome. So, you've got the virus plus the human cell. So, that's step one. I've broken it down into 4 steps for us to digest this easily. So that's step 1. So, in step 2, you've got the virus attaching itself to the human cell. So the virus, through its spikes, attaches itself to the host cell, which is a human cell. So that's step 2. So you've got this coming together in step 2. And then in step 3, what then happens is that the virus will shed its outer shell. Okay, it sheds its outer shell, the outer coat. It sheds that, and then deposits its RNA, which is its genome, inside the human cell. So you've got a viral RNA now inside the human cell. So that is step 3. It's gained access into the human cell. And then what happens in step 4? Well, the virus is very smart. It uses the machinery of the host to induce replication of itself. So, it makes several copies of itself within the human host cell. So what we've got here is virus replicates inside the human cell. So whereas in step 3, all you had was just one copy of the virus, now in step 4, you've got several copies of the virus in there, okay? And this is what happens in every cell that the virus actually attacks. And this is how we become really ill, because you got several copies of the virus inside our body, and that's how we become really unwell when we've got flu or when we've got the coronavirus. So looking at these graphics now, how does zinc help us then? So let's look at that. So what does zinc do? Well, what zinc does is that it stops the progression from step 3 to step 4. So zinc stops the viral replication. So whereas in step 3 you got one copy, and then in step 4 you got several copies of the virus, zinc stops that from happening. So this is one way that zinc actually helps us. This is one way that zinc protects us, protects our immune system, or gives our immune system a bit of bolstering. So now that we know that, how does zinc do that, by the way? Well, the way it does that is by inhibiting the enzyme that is responsible for the viral replication. Okay, so that is how zinc performs its duties. Now we also know that zinc actually, if we supplement with zinc, will reduce potential to develop infections, and we also lower our oxidative stress. Of course, oxidative stress is something we want to avoid. So we know that now. So what is also clear is that the human body needs zinc to activate the T lymphocytes. The T lymphocytes are the cells that are usually called into action when we are attacked by a virus. So they are essential soldiers that we need. And as you can see here, zinc actually activates those T lymphocytes to spring into action when needed. So it's clear that we need zinc to help our immune system. So how do you get zinc into your body? Well, there are two ways of doing that. Well, you can do that through supplementation, and you can also do that through food. So I'm just going to talk about zinc supplements. Now, most zinc supplements come in either 40 or 50 milligram doses. That's the picture that I've noticed. And ideally, you should be looking to take about 20 to 40 milligrams of zinc a day if you want to supplement. So, and 40 milligrams will be the usual upper limit. I would want to go above 40 milligrams. Now, what happens if you cannot access the 40 milligram zinc supplements? What if all you have is just the 50 milligram doses? So what should you do in that instance? Well, my advice would be you should not be taking it every day. You should limit taking it to 4 times a week. That should do. That should level it off. And because you don't want to consume too much zinc. Why is that? Well, the reason for that is that excess zinc supplementation does decrease copper absorption. So what you don't want is a situation where you solve one problem and then you create another. So that's not good, is it? So that's why I would say limit your intake to 40 milligrams maximum a day, that is. That's it about supplementation. So the other way you can get zinc into your body is through eating the right foods.
Thank you, Dr. Joe, for that incisive information whether zinc can actually prevent viral infection. Okay, and please make use of that information. And if you want zinc to prevent viral infection, take those foods that contain zinc, or you supplement your zinc. All right. Thank you for watching that part. Health Monitor will return shortly.
It's Health Monitor, the #1 health show.
The state government is gradually easing the lockdown to allow for minimal movement.
As responsible citizens, we also have our roles to play
in ensuring a safe and secure society.
I would like to encourage you to be sensitive, cautious,
and on guard for your personal state of well-being and others.
Please stay at home if it is not necessary for you to go out.
And if it is important for you to go out,
Kindly protect yourselves
by observing social distancing.
Also washing your hands regularly, especially if it's a public place.
And taking your bath before relating with members of your family.
Don't forget to use your alcoholic-based sanitizer.
Avoid sharing of utensils with friends and even family members.
Make sure you take warm water regularly to keep your body warm.
Stay safe, stay at home, keep the rules.
We appreciate the immense contributions of our frontline medical personnel to minimize the casualty figures during this pandemic, while our hearts go out to those who have lost loved ones. Join the force to beat this pandemic.
This message is brought to you by Electronic Media Content Owners Association of Nigeria, EMCOAN.
Welcome back to Health Monitor, your guide to good health. On Health Tips today, we're taking something very unusual, and that is the fact that your health records are confidential. Okay, I want to bring you that piece on the confidentiality of your health records. So when you go to the clinics, you know how to keep your health information confidential.
Hello, Dr. Mehta. This is Mrs. Sharma. My husband has been hospitalized due to severe shortness of breath.
Okay, don't worry, Mrs. Sharma. I will come and see him right away. Sunidhi, Mr. Sharma, who is in trial, is hospitalized for shortness of breath. We have to inform the health authority and the sponsors within the timelines. I will go to the hospital and check on him now, and when I'm back, we can fill in the forms.
Okay, doctor.
Sunidhi, fill in the other basic details required from his records. Make sure you black out the patient's name and date of birth in all places before you fax in the information. We have to ensure patient's identity is not revealed. We will send out the forms first thing tomorrow morning to meet our timelines. Sunidhi, please send out those forms as discussed yesterday. I have to go for an urgent visit to the hospital for another patient.
Okay, doctor. Now the discharge summary is also available. I will send that out too.
Please ensure patient identifiers are masked in everything.
Miss Sunidhi, I have received the forms for an SAE from your site this morning. Required information is present, but the discharge summary contains the name of the patient and all his personal details. That should have been masked before it was sent to us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I had masked all the identifiers.
Miss Sunidhi, this violates the patient's rights, as his identity is supposed to be confidential and should not be revealed to the sponsor. It is a critical non-compliance. I will need to report it in my system as such. I will stay in touch with you if I need further support. Meanwhile, I am masking the data at my end.
Okay.
All information that can identify a patient when sending out any information outside the doctor's office.
Use only the unique patient identity allotted as part of the trial. Once the patient identity is masked, hold the document in front of a bright light to see if any masked data can still be read.
Have it checked by one more person. 4I principle.
If someone reveals data accidentally, inform and correct immediately. Also dig deeper to understand the reason why this happened in the first place, so that you can take the necessary measures to prevent it from happening again.
Protect patient identity. Ensure patient confidentiality. Prevent a critical non-compliance.
Thank you for watching that piece on how to keep your health information confidential. There is even a legal backing for your medical practitioners to make sure that your health information is kept confidential. All right, Health Monitor will return soon. Please stay with us.
Memories are created daily from events, photo, and video shoots. Having the perfect studio, equipment, and right team is everything. That's why I completely trust Arwell's Media with my event coverage, studio space, equipment, photo and video shoots. You too can have your memories and ideas created at premium quality by dialing 0701 699 6787 or send an email to jybtvonline@gmail.com. Arwell's Media is easily accessible at a secured and serene environment at number 6 Ajumobi Street off Acme Road, Agidingbi, Ikeja, Lagos. Arwell's Media, solving problems, executing visions, and giving value.
That is Health Monitor for you again today. We hope you had a great time with us. We want to appreciate Dr. Ivy from True Care Fertility Clinics. We want to appreciate Dr. Joe, who talked to us on how zinc can actually prevent viral infection from taking hold. And I want to thank our producers for bringing us that piece on health information confidentiality. My name is Jibe Ologe. I want to catch you again on Health Monitor, your guide to good health.